Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on April the 29th. Y'all, this is just, I don't know, a big exhale. And, it is springtime and a lot of things are changing outside. And there are the light green buds and the beautiful flowers and that are on the bushes. I'll say the azaleas are so bright and vivid this year. The trees kind of have the lime green buds just getting started. And then I call them the Easter plants, the hyacinths and the tulips, and some of the lilies are popping through. And, it's just one of those signs that that I just say that God is in control, that we don't have to tell the plants what to do. We don't have to tell the trees what to do. There's this natural rhythm and cycle of beauty and life, and I'll say resurrection. And then in the fall, when everything comes back down to the ground and things get dark and things die away for the winter, and then they come back, and there are these beautiful rhythms, and how the earth just provides so many of our needs, and even like the oxygen we breathe, and taking care of the plants and the animals in the sea and the sky. And there are just so many things of beauty when we can finally take the time to kind of slow down. Today was a day I traveled on the train up to see my mom and dad. And so I actually was able to use that time. And I say prayers when I take petitions to the Heavenly Father, but meditation is when I try to empty me of me so I can be fully filled by Him. And that's what I used the 4 hours on the train, literally to kind of empty me, to allow Him to guide me, for Him to open my eyes, remove the scales, step away from the busyness and the cacophony and all the noise of the day-to-day rat race, and just kind of acknowledge the beauty and the splendor, to be alive, not just to survive, but to legit thrive and see that all this life that is going on around us. And so when we get caught into the mundane and the muck and the mire and the complaining and the planning and the busyness, and believe me, I made lists on the train, and there is a lot of moving parts in our family right now. But I have to take that time to be completely restored and allow Him to have like a spiritual center to my life, not just to start my day, but where I can go throughout the day. And gratitude and surrendering all of the things, all of the beauty, all of the magnificence, the health and well-being, and not just our money and our resources, but all our energy. Not just when we look at earthly possessions, not just the things that we can accumulate in the external, but how about all of the gifts that we have in the internal, when we can truly, authentically be ourselves and empower one another, and surrendering even that to our Heavenly Father to see what He does with that. So gratitude, we know that gratitude kind of turns that faucet. So when we catch ourselves in complaining, and I've talked about before about when there is contrast, to be thankful for the contrast. When things aren't going so great, when we see things going on throughout the world and the wars and the weather and the storms, then we also have to turn and give thanks for the beauty and the gifts and the contrast, to say, you know what, Heavenly Father, I know what I don't want in my life, in my home, in my country, and give thanks for the things that we have. So that is my takeaway for the big reading today. And then we'll go into the 3 biblical passages. The first one is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 28 and 29. Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. And Psalm chapter 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows His handiwork. And then Psalm chapter 119, verse 105, the word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path. And so I ask each and every one of us to kind of surrender to the light that is within each and every one of us, and allow that to light the path. Even if it's just a few steps ahead, we don't have to get over our skis and too far ahead, but let me teach you thankfulness. And that is the receiving. It says, since therefore we're receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Y'all, when our foundation is set on his peace, we cannot be shaken throughout any of the storms when we know that our true source is his powerful presence. Y'all have a super blessed day. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.